based on the way that I look, do I deserve to die?
No.
But when you see me like this, what do you think? Say it one more time. Anybody would agree with that? Would you agree?
I think that's the perception.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
You think that's the perception, right? We can agree on that. But do I deserve to die?
No.
Why not? I'm still human, right? But based on the way that I'm dressed, what do you think when I walk into the room?
I'm gonna rob the place.
I'm about to rob the place?
Up to no good.
Up to no good? This is solely based on the way that I'm dressed, right? And the way that I look, right? So let me do this for you. Now you know, I don't typically dress like this, right? So if I dress the part, am I still the same person based on me being me? Am I still the same person? And no, I got on pants under here. Am I still the same person?
Yes.
So why do your perception change based on the way that I look?
It's stereotypes.
Somebody said stereotypes. Stereotypes can be very dangerous. I didn't know for sure that I was going to really talk about this morning, but I couldn't shake it. Because I know what happens nationally affects us locally. How many people had seen that video before today? Interesting. So we all saw it, right? So typically, what I've seen is typically the shootings are happening in lower income communities. We all work in a lower income community. So I think it's important for me to shed some light on this issue. Now, if it makes you uncomfortable, it should. That made me uncomfortable. I'm black. Newsflash, right? Because I don't think that I come in and have to announce that I'm black. Nor do I think it matters. I don't think it matters. I don't have a problem with you being white, that you're white. I'll acknowledge that you're black because that's who we are. We're Hispanic. I mean, race matters, and it's okay to acknowledge a person's race. When people make comments like, I don't see color, sure you do. You get dressed every morning. And it's okay to acknowledge someone's race. It's okay. But what's not okay is to treat someone differently based on their race. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
We all agree on that, right? So I'm gonna tell you a personal experience that happened to me in December of 2015. I travel sometimes for work. I was at a hotel. I was there for 4 days. Every day, I got up, I went for a walk, and I would call my mother every day. Everyone in the hotel knew who I was because I make a point for people to know who I am. So I'll introduce myself. Hi, my name is Larry. How you doing? So every morning people would see me. Good morning, Larry. How you doing? Right? So on this particular morning, I'm walking through the hotel like I normally do, and I'm talking to my mother. A security guard stops me and says, hey, are you a guest at this hotel? And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, but I'm on the phone with my mom. So I told my mom to hold, and I responded, yes, I'm a guest of the hotel. He then responds, well, what's your room number? I gave him my room number. But at this time, it bothered me that he asked me the question. I didn't know why he was asking me the question. So my mom is on the other end and she's hearing this. And so she immediately got worried. But then what I said to her was, let me call you back. Let me go and talk to him and see what the problem is. So I stopped him and asked him, well, why did you ask me if I was a guest here? He said that it was his normal procedure. So I said, okay. It still bothered me though, because at all of my time of travel, I'd never bbeen asked that question. And I didn't tell you, 2 weeks prior, I'd stayed at the same hotel. They had never asked me, am I a guest here, right? So I went and talked to a friend. I was there on business. This person happens to be an attorney. And so I told her about my experience, and she's like, yeah, that's a little weird. You probably should talk to the managers. But me being the person that I am, I didn't want to overreact. So I headed back to my room to kind of think it over, to decide whether I was going to say something or not, right? Y'all still with me, right? Mm-hmm. On my way back to the room, the same security guard and another one that was with him yells, hey, are you a guest here? Am I a guest here? I just told you I was a guest here. What's your room number? I gave you my room number. I'll give it to you again. The other guy says, well, who you visiting? So by this time, now we're in the lobby. In the lobby, there's just about as many people in the lobby as it is in this room. So of course, I'm embarrassed, I'm upset, right? So my voice escalates at this point because now I'm being treated like a criminal when I'm a guest. Do I have a right to get upset?
Absolutely.
Would any of you have been upset?
Yes.
Would any of you have raised your voice? Okay, so I demand to speak to a manager. It took them 5 to 10 minutes to bring the manager up front. They went in the back, and probably what they were doing was giving their side of the story before the guy got to me. So when the manager came, the 2 security guards were standing right there. And yes, my voice was escalating. You know what the next thing the security guard said to me? If you don't lower your voice, we're going to call the police. So I said, considering that I'm in the state of Florida, which has some of the worst gun laws, and given the national attention that Florida has gotten when it comes to African American men, I have a problem. And so he began to say, he said this, I'm not racially profiling you. So I looked over to the manager and said, the manager says, well, Mr. Williams, I said, no, refer to me as Dr. Williams. Because now you need to know who I am. You never once stopped to ask me who I am, right? And so I changed my title and the whole conversation changed. So then the guy said, well, we're not racially profiling you. Besides, I'm black. So I didn't respond to him. And I wanted to check out of the hotel, but there was no other hotels available around the area. So I went back to my room and I didn't come out for 4 hours. I couldn't believe that had happened to me. I couldn't believe I was being treated that way.